You're on the air.
All right, I'm on the air. Thank you so much, Bob. And I forgot to ask if you have allowed me to join the screen.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, so that's great. Again, welcome. And we had a late joiner. Good morning, Collie. We are about to get started with the introduction to the class. So the plan is to start with a walkthrough of the Canvas shell as soon as Bob has shared.
Okay, you should be okay now, Cornelia.
Rights at the, I know I always have to ask if I get rights for screen sharing and from Bob. And then a little bit later today, we will have hopefully a Cengage representative joining us for our class so that you can ask any questions about the Cengage textbook companion that we are using. And then the end of today's session will be Bob lecturing about the first chapter of our textbook. So this is the page all of you should have seen, and I hope Bob and my wonderful pictures are coming through when you open this page. I heard when you look at it at a cell phone, you don't see our pictures. So this is the first page. You see when you click on the tile in your Canvas shell. So in case you only got my email and haven't been there. So if you log into Pipeline and then click on the Canvas symbol, which looks at that, this is the page where you should end up, right? And you have one or more of these tiles. I have tons, as you can see, but only the bright red one are the spring tiles. Everything else is fall. So not that you get too shocked about that. So remember that you can, if you have more than one course, you can, number one, change the colors. You could actually add a picture and you can also rename them. And as you can say, I renamed our course Accounting 110 Online, not exactly creative. You can name it anything. You could name it My Amazing Accounting 110 Class Online, something like that. And boom, there it is, right? And I have a typo. With Bob and Cornelia, right? Whatever you want to name it. So if you click on that, again, you should end up on our homepage. If you are new to Canvas, please note that there is important links on the left-hand side. I tried to order them in the order that they're most important to you. Let me see if I can go on student view so that we all see the same thing. Because for sure, as an instructor, there's not a lot of rights you have as an instructor, but you see a little bit more than the student. So here is what I have like selected for you. Our homepage at the top, for sure, that is what automatically opens. Then the syllabus page, assignments, the two live lecture and live tutor links. That is what, like the Wednesdays at 11 a.m. With Bob is the live lecture. So you should automatically go there if you just click on this link. Same with the tutor link, but again, on our homepage, there's also the link, the meeting ID, the passcode in case Zoom gives you trouble. And then NetTutor, that is an online service. It's not from my department, but they do have accounting hours, the modules page, grades, people, announcement, and student support. So these are the most important links I felt. And so that is what you see. Let's walk through the first page. Pretty much that is what you got also in your email. It has some important information. Then let's jump to the syllabus page. The syllabus page does have the following. Number one, it has a copy of the class syllabus and the schedule of assignment linked. So if you click on them, you can download them, either open them or download them, and you will see, and you will see them, and you'll be able to print them out in case, you know, there's people who love paper. I am a person who loves paper, so you could print this thing out. This is your schedule. This is what we are doing on a weekly basis. I try to color code it so that it's easy to read. Give me feedback if you don't like my colors. So if you let us zoom in a little bit. So you see that today is Wednesday the 19th. You are here, you are joining the 11 a.m. lecture. I'm written down what we are going to do in this lecture. And then for Thursdays and Saturdays, these are our main homework due dates. This is what we want you to do. Read for this Thursday, it's pretty easy. You read the syllabus, you read the schedule of activities. That is the schedule of activities, by the way. You register for Cengage, you post to the welcome discussion, and you take our syllabus quiz. For Saturday, then, we would like to ask you to actually start working with your textbook. Could be either a hard copy textbook or the e-textbook, which comes with Cengage access, and to read the chapter 1, summarize it by hand. That is a graded work, the summary. We want you to complete this chapter 1 Cengage homework exercises. That's also graded. And then there is a study guide. It's kind of a question and answer thing on Cengage. It's very helpful, and we totally recommend that you do it, but it is not graded. There's no points connected with this. And then on Wednesday, again, next week, a week from today, there's another live lecture, and that is when Bob will introduce chapter 2. And then we are asking you to read and summarize chapter 2 and then chapter 3, with the lecture on chapter 3 coming then the following Wednesday. I mean, ideally, you read the chapter before coming to Bob's lecture, but I mean, Bob can make it work even if you haven't had time to read the chapter ahead of time. There's also a summary in the back of the chapter, which you might want to browse through before you come to lecture, if you haven't had a chance to actually read the whole thing. So we will make it work somehow. I understand that people have busy lives, and you know, and that is why you are probably taking the online class, because that is a little bit easier on with accommodating to your schedules. So on that syllabus link, again, we are still on the same link here on the left-hand side. You also see that Canvas automatically puts the assignment that are due with a due date in the correct order. So as I said, this Thursday, tomorrow, I want you to have done the syllabus quiz and the welcome discussion forum. So for sure, Canvas only lists here the assignments that are actually that are graded, so that carry points. The things that we recommend, like the study guide, they are not listed here because they don't have a due date, they don't have points, so you don't find them here. But this is also a pretty good tool to kind of see, oh my goodness, what's coming up today, what's coming up tomorrow. You can immediately click on it, and in an ideal world, it takes you to the quiz. And then you say, we want to take the quiz. Okay, now I gave away my first of my 3 attempts. Oh, sorry, syllabus quiz has unlimited attempts. So let me jump to the modules page. Yes, I'm not taking the quiz, but we want to jump to the modules page, because what I said is that the syllabus page has only the graded assignments. The modules page is maybe more important, maybe I should put that on top of the syllabus, because the modules page has all the materials. So at the moment we are in the welcome phase, right? And therefore we look at the welcome module, and it has a start here. It has a start here page. Welcome to accounting. That's pretty much the home page again, so I'm not going on there. It has a Canvas student guide that is a video selection. So how to post to a Canvas discussion, how to submit an assignment, how to complete a quiz. I know that some of you are already Canvas whizzes because we have been doing online education for a while now. So forget about that link. You probably know it all already, right? But if not, it's good to know where it is. So that's why you have it there. We have several links to register for Cengage. If you haven't registered for Cengage, this is a good link. This is also a good link. This is a good link. Basically anything that says Cengage, you click on it and it will get you to the registration page. I'm not going to talk about that at the moment because I'm still hoping that the Cengage representative, his name is Mahendra, will be able to join us. He had a conflicting meeting, but I hope he can make it.
I'm here, Cornelia.
Oh, Mahendra is here. Great. So
Hey.
because you are this.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, how's my neighbor doing?
Okay.
Doing great.
Mahendra snuck into our meeting. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, then I actually would like to be very mindful of Mahendra's time. And Mahendra, let me just finish this thought about the module.
Okay.
Then we are coming to you. So again, in our welcome module, you see what here again, I added a page for the Zoom lectures and the Zoom tutoring. And then again, the links to the welcome discussion forum and the syllabus quiz. As you can see, it also lists the due date, very small, however, which is the 20th tomorrow, right? So this is, once you have done these two items, then you will see it. You might not be able to access this at the moment if you click on this, because it's asking you to first do the syllabus quiz and the welcome discussion. But once you have submitted those two assignments, you can start working on the chapter 1 material. And it's laid out chapter 1 lecture, chapter 1. So that means I summarized what's going on in the first chapter. It gives you a direct link to all the graded and ungraded work, the link to the e-textbook, which comes with Cengage, and Mahendra will talk about that. The study guide, remember, that is recommended but not required. And these are then the 3 required assignments: the summary, the homework, Cengage homework assignment, and the quiz, which is on Canvas. Okay, so this is basically introduction to the chapter 1. And this is also where I will post Bob's lecture. You remember, we are recording them. And that where you will find the recording of today's lecture, and basically then for chapter 2, the chapter 2 lecture, and so on. And then you also have direct links to the e-textbook, to the study guide, to the PowerPoint slides directly from this first chapter module. And then it says graded items. That is these are the assignments where we really ask you to watch out on the due date, and please submit them by the due date because you don't want to lose points. Okay, so I will continue then later, but since we have Mahendra here, and we are very thankful that we actually have somebody from the publisher who is willing to join our Zoom meetings, the first Zoom meeting in the semester. Mahendra has been doing this for a long time for us. I just want to share that this is not normal for every textbook publisher. So we are very thankful to have Mahendra here. And so Mahendra, do you want to share your screen, or how do you want to do that?
Well, actually, well, first up, thanks Cornelia, and thank you, Bob, for letting me join the Zoom. And from the students that are on, are any of you having a challenge so far trying to access content or get into your course?
On Cengage.
On Cengage, because I won't be able to share my screen because I don't have a Canvas login, but I've done this for a while now, and I certainly can walk you through the steps. So if you are on your computer, and if one of you would like to share your screen and log in now and access the content, I'll be happy to walk you through that. I did put a link in chat, and that link that's in chat will just help you navigate through the Cengage Now V2 content for the accounting text. But to get you registered, if you're at your computers, first log into Canvas. Make sure you're using a Chrome browser. If you're just using the Microsoft, it might not access all the content. So highly recommended to use a Chrome browser and allow pop-ups. And if you logged into your Canvas and your course, if you click on any Cengage activity, like Cornelia said, besides the ebook, click on an assignment or any activity.
Does anyone want to share their screen, or do you want me to? The problem is I'm already registered. So if you are not registered and you are new to Canvas, you want to click, anybody here who has not yet registered and wants to share it? Bob's giving us sharing rights, I hope, the master of the.
Yeah, I gave sharing rights to whoever, yeah, to you and Mahendra so far.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone? No volunteers at the moment? Okay, and I'm sharing my screen, but for sure, the problem is that I'm already registered with Cengage. Let me see if, hold on.
Okay.
Something.
That's great, Naomi.
Oh, great. Well,
Okay.
Naomi wants to share or what?
No, she's registered.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so let me keep going through the steps,
Yes.
Cornelia.
Okay.
If some of your students are having a challenge. So again, log into Canvas, log into your course, click on a Cengage activity. When you click on a Cengage activity, it'll open up a new screen for you to log into Cengage. So if you have used a Cengage product in the past, you can log in on that screen, click on forgot password if you forgot your password. If not, it might bring us to that screen. There you go. That's the Cengage screen that it'll bring you. Thank you for that, Cornelia. So you can either, and it's recommended to use your school email address because it'll tie your content with the class that you're in, etc. So if you do that,
Shall I click create account?
But then you're going to need to create a student account.
Okay, all right. So
yeah. And Jade is registered as well. It's just Robert and Lizzie that are on the call that might be having a challenge. And when you click on your course and you get to your when you click on that, create an account, it will send you an email to verify your email and to verify that it is you. That's where you would create a password and then re-log into your account again. And when you re-log into your account again and you click continue or buy your product, and I'm not sure if it'll take you to that sign in, Cornelia. Yeah. So it already got you to Cengage.
Yeah.
But hang on.
Yeah, if I'm now coming in with my teacher account, then for sure,
right,
directly.
Yeah. Just ignore this box if that picks up, guys. And so when you go to buy your product, you can click on buy. But before you purchase, when you scroll all the way down to the lowest screen of products, you would see Start Temporary Access. You can click on Start Temporary Access and it'll give you 14 days of free access to the content. And there's a countdown that'll come down, and as you get closer to the time that you need to pay for it, then you can. But you have access starting from today to the content for this class. And
I think
and again,
everybody is registered, and I hope everybody who's here is registered. That's what I see in the chat, if I'm right. And I hope you, you know, if you wanted, you took advantage of the 2-week free access. I always like put that in the
yeah,
chat as well.
and I recommend that too, because it gives you a little time to figure out your finances and stuff like that. So look, and your instructor has my contact information. I can put it in chat as well. If any of you are having a challenge, please email me directly and we'll get it resolved as quick as we can.
All right, let me. So how about, so when we get people, shall we click the unlimited dashboard or shall I click an assignment? Share it?
If you want to click the unlimited dashboard, the unlimited dashboard students are for, if you are taking other courses that do use Cengage products, it's advisable then to click Cengage Unlimited and purchase Cengage Unlimited, because for that one-time price, you would get access to all the courses that are using Cengage products.
So if you, for example, I'm not sure if somebody is here in my class, if you also take my finance class, my managerial finance class, for them, I'm using, those students, I'm using a Cengage product too. And then you should like think about like if Cengage Unlimited is, I think the one price and then everything is included. This is how I understand you. So that you pay this and this and this and this, and it adds up to a big amount. Okay.
But students, you are fortunate to take this class because the materials for it are pretty good as well. And it creates a good base for you moving on into further accounting classes. So if
you want us to go with the material, textbook, study guide, where do you want me to?
If you click on study tools, I'm not sure as an instructor, it takes you directly to the ebook.
I think it should actually study guide.
Okay, well, go to the study guide.
Yeah. So it's always the same. You click on the link and then this little box will appear and click on the box and then it will open the Cengage in a new window. So if you want to go back to Canvas, you just look at the top of the screen, you look for this little like red Canvas icon again, and you are back on our homepage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there on the top, Cornelia, is study tools. Next to assignments, the assignments tab will give you a printout of all the assignments that you need. And when you click on study tools, that's how you could access the ebook for this class.
Yeah. But it also should, like the ebook for you students, you also should be able to click on just the ebook and link in the modules page.
Right.
I think it works.
Yeah, but make sure you use a Chrome browser, and that's been the challenge for the most part.
Oops, what did I do now? Sorry, I clicked somewhere.
No, it's still opening.
So it's a little bit difficult with this book here, with the pictures. So I'm not sure where we ended now. I clicked somewhere, unfortunately.
Okay, maybe study tools or the ebook, but then that's how you open up the readings for this class.
Yeah.
And any questions that you have for me, students?
Okay, let's click it from the let's click it from the
chapter.
Yes, from the chapter. It should open it. Let's see. Surprise.
No, it'll work.
Oh,
Is that an assignment that you had for chapter 1, Cornelia?
yeah, I believe I set it up as a reading assignment
Okay.
so that it takes them to the book page. Let's see. I'm sorry, my internet personally is at home is somewhat slow. So probably for you, it's loading a little bit quicker.
And that's the ebook.
That is the ebook. So basically the pages are the same, are looking exactly the same as, and I'm not sure why it started on the last page of the chapter. That's probably my fault. I should have set it up on the first page. But as you can see, this is basically the same thing that you see as if you have the real book.
Yeah.
And I'm a paper person, I said that earlier. I love reading from a real book, and you can either buy it from the bookstore, or I think Mahendra will share with you an option how you can order one. I think a paper, like just a loose leaf thing.
A loose leaf print edition through Cengage. When you're making your purchase, guys, it will give you that option to either include a print text or a loose leaf print text or a bound print text. Go with the loose leaf. It's pretty much the cheapest way to go. If you wanted to get a bundle at the bookstore, so a bundle at the bookstore would mean a loose leaf print text and a printed access card to register for the See Now content that'll give you access to the assignments and activities. So just having a normal physical book without access to Cengage may not necessarily work for this class. But the Cengage now,
some pages you may have to scroll down, right? I mean, even if if it's ending there, look for the scroll bar. Some pages in the ebook are shorter, some are longer. So this is
and on the apps on the right-hand side, you can highlight and take notes within the ebook, and it'll save all those notes for you. You can create flashcards. The third one down is a read speaker, so it'll read the text for you. And you can choose a male or female voice. And
okay, here. Okay, let me see. Okay. Do you hear me? Do you hear that?
No.
No,
Slow, medium, fast.
Yep. We might not hear it through the Zoom call, Claudia.
Oh, okay, that's possible. Okay.
Is it playing on your end?
Let me see. No, not really, but that is possible because my microphone is occupied with Zoom.
Okay.
That might be the problem that I have Zoom on the same time, and that it should work. Let me, and once after the call, I will check it out, or you students can check it out after the Zoom call. I think this has something to do that the microphones are confused. They don't know what to play, either Mahendra or the textbook. So, but the highlighting obviously clearly works, and the note taking too. So here, yes, you see, I just highlighted something with a highlighter, and it will stick. So if you come back to the book, it will be still there.
Right, and all the way at the bottom is you can create flashcards or use the flashcards that are in there as well.
Oh, here, okay. So these are for self-creation?
Yeah.
Or these are done already?
Click next.
Flip card. Oh, okay. All right. This is great. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Next card. Classifying. What do you think what classifying is? Let's flip cards. Sorting and grouping several items together rather than merely keeping a simple diary-like record of numerous events. Right? Okay, perfect. Interpreting. So this is fun. I think maybe we should you could also start with this and then find out telling the results of the patients, right? Telling the results should be report. No, oh, they put summarizing. Okay. Okay. Exposure draft, preliminary reviews. They have all the important key terms in there. So might be a good idea. You want to, if you have extra time to go through this. Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, are we good?
I think we are good with the e-textbook. Any questions on e-textbook? I would like to go with the students over the homework assignments.
Okay.
That is important. So the homework exercises are sitting here. You click on them. And then again, you have to, you get the little gray box, you click the little box.
And you'll get the one more prompt.
Does it say that always? This is kind of,
Yeah, I know. We're trying to get rid of that.
okay,
Sorry.
good. So this is a little bit important to read. To avoid unintended assignment submissions, do not use the browser back button, history trail, or refresh. Do not leave the assignment open and inactive for more than 2 hours. Do not close the assignment using the browser's close tools. That means just clicking, because what could happen is that you accidentally submit it. You have several attempts anyway, but you would have to start over, which is probably annoying, right? Because if you need to take a break, there is something like a save and exit button. Here's my first exercise for chapter 1. And it's very much like a real entertaining one. You are supposed to match the following users with the information needed, the accounting information needed, by clicking first on the user and then the correct information needed. So what information do owners need? So we are here with the owners. What do they need? Or you can ask, what does the government need? Let's try with them. What do you think? That's easy. Any volunteers? Maybe that you pay your taxes?
Good
Right?
choice.
Managers, what do managers need? Well, managers, guess what? They need the information to manage the business. So I would think they need the detailed stuff. The creditors probably want to know what's your current financial condition is. Whether the firm can pay its bills. How can we make this? How can we correct that? I made a mistake. There we go. Whether the firm can pay its bills on time, because we want as a creditor to have our bill paid on time. And the owners, they want to know how well is the business doing for which I have shares or for which I am a partner. So that's the information that you want to put in. And then you could do check my work. Shall we check our work?
Sure.
Hey, look at that, all green. If we had done, if I had left that first mistake, it would probably give us a red line.
Right.
Hey,
But it'll give you an explanation of why you got it wrong as well.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do something really wrong in the next one. Let's try we process order for step whatsoever definition, just pick one. And then, so I didn't even read it. And I'm picking my work and it says, so the 6 major steps of the accounting process are given. Select the order and definition of each step in the accounting process. Obviously, I made a mistake with respect of the step. It's not the 4th step. It needs to be another one. Okay. So recording, what are the 6 steps? Recording, summarizing, reporting, analyzing, interpreting, and classifying. So so it gives me a hint. Where did I go wrong? Let's see. And this one is wrong too. Ay. Well, if you just pick stuff, list it. Okay. So once you guys, make sure you have everything in green. There's no limit to the check my work. There shouldn't be any reason why you don't have everything correct in the homework. There shouldn't be any reason. By the way, if you need to step out because you have to pick up the kids from school, or prepare dinner, or you have to go to work, make sure you hit save and exit. Otherwise, it will ask you to start all over when you come back, right? This is, remember when I said, don't just close it with the browser button or just walk away and come back tomorrow morning. It might close out your assignment and then you have to start over. But if you hit save and exit, it still be there. And then once you're done, make sure at the very end, before the due date, submit the assignment for grading. These are also important steps. For sure, when do you submit the assignment? Once you have green dots on all these, okay? Okay, so you see it's doable. It's not a huge amount of work. Cengage tried to make it also a little bit entertaining with these like kind of drawing lines thing. So just to let you know. Okay. So this was important. Again, how do you get there? By clicking on the link in the modules page. That's the easiest way. You go to in the modules page, or which other page? The syllabus page. Syllabus page, however, remember, has only the graded assignments, not the ungraded ones. Yeah. All right, Mahendra, was there anything else, or do students have questions for Mahendra?
Let me know if you have any questions, guys. And like I said, your instructors have my contact information. If there are any challenges, please let me know. And good luck with class. And thanks for having me, Cornelia and Bob.
See you later, Mahendra.
Okay.
Thank
Take
you
care,
so
guys.
much, Mahendra.
Sure.
Highly appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to share my screen again, and we are going to look at the other stuff which I have posted for you for each chapter. Again, every chapter will look pretty much the same. You have the lecture, something typed. The video of the lecture will be linked probably tonight or tomorrow. The link to the e-textbook, the link to the study guide, the link to the PowerPoint slides. That's exactly those slides that Bob will use to lecture. He might not use all of them, but probably most of them. They are there linked. I mean, Bob will show them during the lecture. He will share his screen and show them during the lectures, but some students like to print them out and take lecture notes right on their printouts. Which is a good habit. I like to do that. No need to do that. You can also survive this class. Just come to the lecture and watch Bob's lecture, and he will show you the lecture slides. If you never have to click that, that's fine too. Again, the graded items are grouped together here, right? They are grouped together here, and the last thing here, that's an audio file for the fall lecture in case somebody wanted to listen before to today's lecture. I put an audio file that we had from 2 years ago on there so that the early birds could already get started. And then the same thing, as you can see, same thing for chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, etc. So chapter 6. So let's talk a little bit about the exam. I tag the exams always at the last chapter that they're actually like covering. So our first midterm exam is covering chapters 1, 2, and 3. So I added that at the end of chapter 3. Then the second midterm exam is covering chapters 4, 5, and 6. So you find that at the end of chapter 6, right? The next midterm exam should be covering a few more, chapters 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. It's tagged at the end of chapter 15. And then, by the way, in case you, oh, sorry, chapter 12, we are skipping in this class. And then we are going back a bit to 3 chapters we had skipped before, 7, 8, 9. And there's an additional exam, which is a midterm chapters 7, 8, 9. And then the last exam is covering, it's a cumulative final during finals week. And that is covering all the exams again, the previous one, all the previous chapters. A word to the exams. We are picking our exam questions from the same question pool that I am picking the quizzes. So taking the quizzes more than once is recommended. Number one, it's recommended anyway, unless you get 100%, because the best quiz score will count. And kind of like repeating, reviewing, studying, memorizing the chapter material works pretty well by using the quizzes. Okay, so you can use that as a study tool for the final exam again. That means if you are getting close to the final exam, my recommendation is that you go back to the chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, and look at the quizzes to prepare for the final. But that is still a little bit up the way. I will send you various emails about that. Please make sure that you check your pipeline email. You will get emails at least 3 times a week from me. I will usually remind you about due dates, about coming to Bob's lecture. And since you're here, I was just about to draft another email for my students. The college is hiring people who help with the check-in tables and the COVID testing. So if you are currently looking for a job and you are local, the college is hiring hourly employees. I just got that notification. So in case somebody is interested, please do so. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions about the class, about the Canvas shell at the moment? Okay. Well, if not, my email is on the syllabus. Either Bob or I'm not quite sure who I put in charge of this class. I have to look it up. From one person, you have the cell phone number. So it's on the syllabus. And so if you want to, if you have an urgent matter, please, these are our private cell phones. I don't have a school cell phone. Bob doesn't have a school cell phone. But if there is an urgent matter, we understand that you might want to text us because email always takes a little bit longer. And we will try to respond immediately. So please use our phone numbers responsibly. Don't share them with anyone outside the class, but feel free to use them. We are here for you. We want to help you succeed. And we know that this is a challenge of online instruction. You have a question, and then you write an email, and then you have to wait a day or so until you get the answer. And we understand that this sometimes doesn't work, right? If you can't wait for a day for an email to be responded if the midterm is due at midnight today, right? So feel free to do that. Okay, so if you don't have questions for me at the moment, then I let Bob now have his Zoom screen and share his slides with you and start the lecture for today.
Well, thank you, Cornelia.
You should have screen sharing rights.
Yeah, I'm just digging it up here. Hold on.
Good. All right. And again, Bob will try to, right after class, get the video together and post it on YouTube. And then I will link it to that chapter lecture page.
Okay.
Bob also has tutoring today at 1 p.m. in case you want to come to tutoring right away. Remember, I'm saying this more to Bob, that he knows we are
Tutoring at 1 today. What are we going to tutor?
If anybody's there.
Okay. It's just that I made plans, Cornelia.
Well, maybe I assume nobody's coming. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, yeah.
There is the option, hang out with Bob, and Bob
Good.
usually has also fun videos about baseball and his nephews and other things. So if you
That's
got
right.
an accounting question, just want to, I mean, really, it's unfortunately you are not on campus, but our tutor sessions are also an opportunity to possibly just bring your study materials, bring your homework, do your homework, just not be alone in the room, but you are in a Zoom room together. You have an instructor right there to answer questions, and other folks who also study accounting and who are in other accounting classes who might be able to tell you about like how it is if you once you take accounting 230 or 240. So what they have to complain about their instructors. All right, everybody, thank you so much, and have a great class.
Okay, thank you, Cornelia. See you tomorrow morning. All right. You ready for the lecture portion here? This should go, I think I have about a 2-hour presentation here, so I'm only kidding, not that long. This is really basic introductory type information. We start hitting the debits and credits in chapters 2 and 3. But let's just go through this. These types of questions will be on your first exam, and think of them as low-hanging fruit. These are the ones we want to be able to nail down at that first exam, okay? The purpose of accounting, to provide financial information about operations, and we're going to give this information out to individuals, agencies, and organizations. Okay, who uses this information? Well, this is the grid that Cornelia was working on with you a little while ago. Who uses this accounting information? Well, internal and external users need this information. When I say internal, ownership. They want to know if the company's making business, what's the financial condition of the company? Are we in a position to expand, perhaps? Do we need to eliminate a product line? This is the type of financial information that the owners are interested in. The managers, well, they're the ones, like Cornelia said, they're the ones who are interested in the details. One example might be the sales managers. They may get a bonus based on the company's performance. So they're certainly interested in how the company's doing. A manufacturing manager, his or her bonus may be based on the type of production they get out of the plant. Creditors, a creditor is a lender. Creditor is a lender. No creditor is going to loan you money without seeing audited financial statements in good order. So creditors use this information. And then, like we said a little bit earlier, the government agencies, they want to make sure you can pay your taxes. The United States government is funny that way. They want to collect their tax money. The accounting process, system of gathering information about a business and reporting this information. Now, you see these steps here? These steps are always on the test in one way or the other. I'm not saying you have to memorize them in a particular order, although that's the best way to do it. But understand what they're talking about. Analyzing. Step 1, analyzing, looking at events that have taken place and seeing how they can affect the business. That could be anything from as simple as getting the electric bill in the mail, looking at it and saying, that's your analysis. This is the electric bill. It looks reasonable. It's time to pay it. You know, it could be something complicated where you're having a series of meetings about the budgets or something. So you start with analyzing, and then you record the information. And we're going to learn about that in chapters 2 and 3, how you record into your general ledger using journal entries. You classify. And like we were just looking at the screen earlier, sorting and grouping similar items together rather than merely keeping a subsidiary-like record of numerous events. It's a way to bring things together in an easy to understand, easy to present form. Summarizing, you aggregate many similar events to provide information. Again, you want the financial statements to be detailed like crazy, but also set up in somewhat of a summarized version That makes it easier for the reader. Then the reporting at the end of the month, you tell the results. You actually come up with the financial statements. You're going to prepare an income statement, a retained earnings statement, a balance sheet, and probably a statement of cash flows. And then finally, we interpret what's going on. We decide the meaning and the importance of the information. Interpret. Here are two acronyms you're going to have to know for sure. GAAP, GAAP. It stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. GAAP, Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. These are the rules to follow in accounting. And they're developed by another acronym, FASB, the Financial Accounting Standards Board. The rules of accounting tell companies how to record things, when to record things. They tell companies what is the proper handling of a particular situation. And the rules of accounting are always evolving. There's always changes going on that various companies need to comply with. These rules come from the Financial Accounting Standards Board. That's a part of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and they're the ones who come up with the various rules. And the rules can change, like I said, from time to time. Process used by FASB. What's the process used by FASB? They identify an issue that they think might be worth examining. They put it on their agenda and they research it, and they'll offer a preliminary view on it, preliminary report. They might even have public hearings and then issue an exposure draft, consider feedback, and they would issue a final update standard, which amends the rule. I'll give you an example of that if you're interested. For many years, supermarkets would sell gift certificates, and they would get that money and it would go into an account called unearned liabilities. When a company sells something like a gift certificate, there's no income on the income statement. It's nice they got cash in advance. So companies would get this money, and sometimes people don't use the gift certificates. So these companies were making these sales, if you will, without really recording them as sales and accumulating this money. So the FASB looked into it, and now these companies have an obligation to analyze what's going on with their gift certificates and record a certain amount of it as legitimate income. So that's one example that I found interesting, and you'll get that right up, I think, in 230 when you get that far. 3 types of ownership structures we're talking about in the United States: sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation. Most businesses in the United States are sole proprietorships. One person, one owner, one person takes all the risk, huh? That owner makes all the decisions, but there's a high risk, high reward type component to this. If you invest, let's say you invested $10,000 in a business and the business failed, and you find yourself owing $100,000, creditors can come after you for your personal assets to make up that $90,000 difference. So that's a key item with a sole proprietorship. You assume all the risk, but you get all the reward. Sole proprietorships. Partnerships, and I'm only talking about a basic partnership, none of the fancy LLTs or anything like that. Same thing, partnerships share risks. If a partnership goes out of business, the partners can have their personal assets seized. They can have a lien put on their houses and things like that, okay? And one thing you might find interesting is partnerships are typically how accounting firms work, architectural firms, legal firms, law offices. And I think the reason for that is they're showing the world that they're not afraid of being sued for malfeasance. It's become pretty much standard that accounting firms are not corporations, that they are partnerships. And that supposedly gives them an extra layer of credibility to potential customers, potential clients. And of course, corporation owned by the shareholders, Stockholders have limited risk. Stockholders may have little influence. You can buy shares of stock immediately in a company. Call your stockbroker or do it online, and you own 100 shares of Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola went out of business, you're technically an owner of the company, but they're not coming after you for that money because this is a corporate. They enjoy what's called the corporate shield. There's a little less of a corporate shield after some terrible frauds over the last 20 years. But for the most part, a corporation goes out of business. You can't go after the ownership of the company for their personal possessions unless there is absolute, no doubt about it, fraud. Different types of businesses, types of business. Service, merchandising, manufacturing. Service business. That's mostly what this class is going to be about. 110, we're talking pretty much a service business. We are delivering pizzas on campus to somebody. We are a law firm. There is no product involved for the most part. There's no physical product. There's no inventory. Service business. We tow cars away, things like that. So service business is 110. Merchandising business is accounting 230. That's when the book turns into Nordstrom's. You become the manager of a big department store with all the accounting headaches involved with that. We will hit merchandising a little bit in this class later on, but for the most part, we're just service. And then accounting 240, which is my favorite class, 240, you're manufacturing. Most of my working life was in manufacturing, putting standard costs together, budgets. So 240 would be manufacturing. What's a service business? A travel agency, computer consultant. I think you get the idea on a service business. Merchandising, you are buying and selling something. A business that buys a product from another business to sell to customers. Okay. A department store, pharmacy, a grocery store. Okay. A business that buys a product from some other business with the intention of selling it for a profit. Manufacturing business, a type of organization that builds the product itself. An automobile manufacturer, furniture maker, toy factory, Ford Motor Company, that's classic manufacturing. They have to figure out how much steel is involved to produce a car. Ford has to figure out how much glass they need in a particular model, what type of tires to put on the car. Furniture maker, they make the furniture, but I'm kind of joking a little bit, unless it's IKEA where they just hand you a bunch of boards and you have to put it together yourself. But it's the same thing. They're a manufacturer. And a toy company might be another example. Whoops. Now, as we get to the end of this presentation, and this is a very brief presentation, they talk about career opportunities in accounting. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to take you through it briefly, just to give you a feel. You could go to work today right out of high school and maybe get a job as an accounting clerk, filing papers and recording things into the computer. And then you can work your way up to different types of senior clerk positions. And accounting clerks only involved with a small portion of the business. Bookkeepers, they have a higher level of responsibility and knowledge. Typically, you need a couple of years of college. We have a bookkeeping certificate that you can earn here, your bookkeeping credentials. You supervise the work of the clerks. You assist with the daily accounting work, summarize information, and typically 1 to 2 years of accounting education, and maybe have a good background as a clerk. Para accountants, I've never heard of this before. Para accountants, but I would assume they're similar to paralegals, provide many accounting, auditing, or tax services under the direction of the CPA. And it looks like you need a 2-year degree to be a para accountant. And then you got the accountants. Now, the accountants are not just sitting at a desk all day, pushing numbers around, pushing paper around. They're involved in higher level activities like designing the accounting system. You're analyzing the business all the time. You're looking at your sales data. Why is the sales not good in this one section of the country? Why is it so good? Why is it extra good in the Southeast where we don't have a big presence? Should we expand an operation into the Southeast? These are the types of things the accounting people do. You look for trends in the data, study the impact of alternative decisions, and typically you need an accounting degree. Now, any accounting person I know who worked in private accounting, like I did, not as a public accountant, there's a certain amount of time away from your desk, a lot of time. I mean, I did a pretty good amount of traveling for Thomas and Betts Corporation. We had factories around the country. About once a month, I'd get on a plane and have to conduct a physical inventory or go to some kind of seminar or something. So the accounting job is well beyond just what the bookkeeper does. And here they talk about accounting careers, public accounting, private, and government, huh? Public accounting means you become an employee of a CPA firm. Public accounting, you work for a CPA firm and your job is to audit companies within your purview. You work for a CPA firm and they send you out to Ford Motor Company to prepare the audit of that company. Public, that's called public accounting. Private, you just work for a regular company. You go over to Perry Lincoln Ford and you knock on the door and say, I'm interested in an accounting job. Do you have anything? And they say, yeah, come on in, you're hired. Private accounting, you're working for an American corporation or company. And then you have governmental and nonprofit accounting. And that is a totally separate world in terms of the rules, in terms of some of the responsibilities, and especially in the types of problems that come up, okay? I worked in nonprofit accounting for about 5 years when I got moved up to Santa Barbara 23 years ago. Santa Barbara County is filled with nonprofit associations that are always looking for qualified accounting people. The school offers a great class in nonprofit accounting taught by Colby Sullivan. That's something you might find interesting. I mean, I enjoyed working for a nonprofit. You really feel like you're doing some good for the community. The only problem with a nonprofit is the money situation. Nonprofit, you're not supposed to be making money. So if you have too much money on hand, no one is going to loan you money. They're going to say, you guys don't need my donation. If you don't have enough money, they're going to stop giving you money because they say you don't know how to handle money. So that's kind of a tough little thing there. And of course, governmental work, tax auditors, IRS, all kinds of things. And here, public accounting. What do these guys do? They do the audits, taxation work. They do a lot of management advisory services, but that can become a real conflict of interest. And companies have to be very careful. Do you want to use your CPAs to do both your system design and your audits and taxes? You might want to split those up a little bit. And then forensic accounting. These are the guys who can catch crooks, kiting checks, stealing. And you can become a CPA, certified public accountant, or a certified fraud examiner. All I know, if I was working and I got a call and the guy identified himself as a certified fraud examiner, I'd be a little nervous about meeting with him or her. This is private accounting. This is what I did. Employees of private businesses, they provide all kinds of services, information services. You can do taxes, financial, budgets. Controller, principal accounting officer of the company. That's what I was most of the time. If anybody asked what your teacher did in the workforce, well, he was a controller. He was the controller. That's what I did mostly. Until the end, I was the not vice president. I was the chief financial officer of the Santa Barbara neighborhood clinics in town here. That's where I did my nonprofit work. So the controller, the principal accounting officer of the company, and you could become a certified managerial accountant. That's a manufacturing type credential, or you become an auditor, a certified internal auditor. Governmental work, you work in all levels of government. also employed by schools, churches, hospitals. So on your exam, they like to give you a couple examples of businesses and then ask if these are public, private, or governmental nonprofit. So take a peek at it. Schools, churches, hospitals, almost by definition, are nonprofit. All levels of the government, they report financial information, but the rules are somewhat different. They're a lot different, believe me, and takes some getting used to. And we'll end up by just glancing at these charts here. I don't even think anybody can read these things. And I guess I can make it bigger. They're just talking about the demand for accountants in the future. We agree that there's great demand. Accounting clerk, they're saying that you can, make a salary around $37,000 a year. That's not bad for an accounting clerk, considering there's no educational requirements. A bookkeeper, they're talking in the early 40s, low 40s for a bookkeeping job. A budget analyst, you can be expected to make about $56,000. And obviously these numbers are estimates, and they vary by different parts of the country. But budget analyst, that's a job I used to like to do, the budget work. Accounts payable manager, wow, $83,000. A good accounts payable manager doesn't just pay the bills when they need to be paid. They work carefully with your vendors to stretch out your cash to best effect. An audit executive, now we're up to $200,000. Controller 188. Hey, I never made 188, I don't think, as a controller, but that's what they're saying that you can do. And that's pretty much the end of this entire chapter. You can see it was just a brief introduction. Get familiar with those terms, the classifying, the recording, the interpreting. Know the difference between the service businesses and the nonprofits and all that, the manufacturing and the merchandising. So I don't think this is too tough a start for us. Does anybody have any questions? No questions, huh? Does anybody want to make a motion? We'll end the meeting now. Robert? Robert?
I have a question. If
Go for it.
something comes up, if something comes up during the lecture, is it best to speak up or to put it in chat?
No, speak up.
for
Speak
you?
up. I encourage you. You can interrupt away when I'm talking.
Okay.
I'm used to
And
that
this will
anyway.
be, okay, this is recorded and then put on there for others to see later.
Yeah, this is going to go up in two places. Cornelia will put it into Canvas once I get it loaded up in YouTube. And then it goes on my YouTube site, Bob Smagula YouTube. And you'll see the most recent videos that I put up there. It
Okay.
usually
May I suggest that we are stopping the video at this point?
Oh, thank you.
I think it's still recording.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the button here.
On the bottom.
I think that I hit stop video. That should do it, right?
No, you stop. You just hit the record button again.
I don't see the record button. Where did it go? Oh, for heaven's sake.
Next to share screen.
Okay, I think this will work here. I had to stop. Okay, I had
Okay.
to stop.
Click it
sharing.
again. Click it again.